Hey YouTube, what's up? It's CS back here with another installment, and here's my review for UFC 141 Lesnar versus Overeem. Alrighty folks, well, what did you guys think about that card? I thought it was a pretty good way to end off 2011. We saw some things that were expected for the most part. That's what we saw, but we did see a couple upsets here and there. But let's just jump right into it. Let's start off with the main event. Brock Lesnar and Alistair Overeem. We'll work our way back like usual. Yeah, Brock Lesnar just did not do what he needed to do. I'm not sure if he caught the Velasquez Dos Santos fight, but yeah, Velasquez needed to wrestle to win. He didn't do that. Brock Lesnar didn't do it either. Striker beat him. I don't think anyone's shocked at that. Brock Lesnar didn't wrestle. Brock Lesnar does not win. Clearly when he got out there, he just didn't have the right game plan. I said it in my prediction video myself. I think his best bet of winning is just rushing in there, Chael Sonnen style, Dennis Hallman style, just get this thing to the ground ASAP, because you're not going to win undefeated. Don't even bother trying to set shit up, because you will get, countered by a knee or an uppercut or something like that. He got 2 takedowns stuffed, and Alistair felt comfortable enough to just let loose. Alistair was throwing kicks. I thought that might have been a bad idea, because I thought Lesnar might be able to catch one and bring him down. But nope, Lesnar got shook up by that body kick, and of course, Alistair finished up with more strikes. That's what happened. Alistair Overeem, first round TKO. That's what I thought was going to happen, and yeah, it did. So what's next for Overeem? Of course, Junior Dos Santos, and yeah, I think this is Overeem's fight to lose, because I think he kills Dos Santos on the feet, personally. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure someone told me that Dos Santos does not want to strike with him. I'm not sure what source that's from, but who knows. But yeah, as long as that thing's standing, I think that's Overeem's fight to lose. It's not like we've seen Dos Santos want to bring it down to the ground ever. So yeah, at least Dos Santos will have a better chance than Brock did, because Brock didn't wrestle. Damn. But yeah, what's next for Lesnar? Of course, he announced his retirement. Yeah, I don't know what to say. He came into this sport, proved that he's not a complete bum, because he did win the heavyweight title. He did beat, Frank Mir the second time. He beat Shane Carwin. Yeah, hats off to him for being able to take the sport by storm. Come in there, and after like a year or a year or two of just training, he wins the heavyweight title. I've got to give it up to him. So hats off to Brock Lesnar. Happy trails to him in whatever he decides to do. I hope he doesn't die again. He was coming off that layoff due to diverticulitis. That didn't help his case whatsoever. I'm not sure how well his fitness would have been if this fight were able to go to 2 or 3 rounds or 4 rounds or whatnot. But yeah, he just didn't have his shit together, and it's kind of hard for him to now, I guess, because he's not getting any younger, you know what I'm saying? So for him to hang it up right now, hats off to him. I doubt he'll be able to, provide himself with a better career if he kept going anyway. So, I kind of agree with his retirement, because he's done everything he needed to. He won the title, like I said. So hats off to Brock Lesnar, and yeah, good luck to Overeem in that title fight against Junior Dos Santos. Alright folks, now let's move on to that Nate Diaz, Donald Cerrone lightweight co-main event bout. That, of course, one fight a night. Of course, no one's surprised by that, I hope. Of course, these guys are going to give it their all, striking-wise. So, yeah, it makes sense for this to be fight of the night, and that's what happened. Of course, most people did pick Donald Cerrone to win via unanimous decision, including myself. That didn't exactly happen, because he didn't do what he had to do. Nate Diaz did. If Nate Diaz wasn't going to win this fight, it would be either some sort of submission or, be able to overwhelm Donald Cerrone with that Diaz pace of punching. That's what happened. Nate Diaz was able to out-aggress Donald Cerrone. Cerrone was looking for a tentative Nate Diaz on the feet, where he can just control the center of the octagon, throw leg kicks and combinations when he wanted. But Nate Diaz fought like his brother in this fight. You know what I'm saying? He came out there highly aggressive with his punching style. Just stalked Donald Cerrone, not allow him to throw leg kicks, and not allow him to counterpunch that well, because he was just throwing way too many punches, to the face, hooks to the face, hooks to the body. Donald Cerrone basically turned into a punching bag. He wasn't doing much significant offense over the course of 3 rounds, besides some kicks here and there, and he did get some combos off, but just not enough to overwhelm this Diaz brother. Nate looked very impressive in this bout, and it's kind of hard for me to pick against Nate Diaz if it's not a wrestler with a wrestler first mindset. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Nate Diaz really impressed me in this bout. I did learn a lot watching him in this one. And yeah, you know, I look forward to see who he faces next. You know what I'm saying? I think that he should face the winner of Anthony Pettis, Joe Lozon. I think that would be a bout that makes sense. And of course, you know, whoever wins that, put him up against, you know, a top wrestler contender, and we'll see if he's that good. You know what I'm saying? Of course, though, on Cerrone, you know, he had that crazy 2011 year. You know, I still think he's top 10. I still think he beats, you know, a lot of the top 15s or the guys in the lower top 10 part of this division. And yeah, I think he should face the loser of Gillard Miller. I think that would make sense. But again, solid win for Nate Diaz. That was bloody impressive. Alrighty, folks, now let's move on to that welterweight bout between Johnny Hendricks and John Fitch. Of course, John Fitch got knocked out for the first time in his UFC career by Johnny Hendricks. Holy shit, that was insane. 12 seconds. Damn. I didn't think Fitch could be stopped that early. I'm pretty sure no one picked Johnny Hendricks via first round KO. Wow, that was crazy. I'm sure he put a lot of smiles on people's faces in that arena and in homes worldwide, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't want to sit through 15 minutes of Fitch when, you know, Nate Diaz, Cerrone, and Overeem Lesnar was ahead. You know what I'm saying? People wanted to see that shit real fast, and because of Hendricks, they got to. Because Fitch didn't Fitch Hendricks, you know what I'm saying? Fitch just didn't do what he had to do, and that's clinch up with Hendricks and get this fight to the ground real fast. You know, of course, he ended up backing up early in that fight and ate a left hook, dropped, and yeah, he was out cold. He even tried to, pull guard against Steve Mazzagatti. Like, damn, Fitch was out. Solid win for Johnny Hendricks. Damn, I don't know what you do with him now. Maybe the winner of Ellenberger Sanchez. I think, you know, if Ellenberger gets past Sanchez, which he should, I think that would be a sick fight with him and Hendricks. And of course, Fitch, back to the drawing board with him. You know, poor guy coming off that long-ass layoff with that shoulder injury. You know, he's already had a shot a while back at the title. And yeah, he ain't getting any younger, and he has already a lot of fights under his belt. So it's unfortunate for him to, you know, just take this L, you know what I'm saying? But I think he'll be back. Fitch is too smart, too good of a fighter not to be. I think he'll be just a better fighter in this next fight and be able to Fitch people once again. I think he should face the loser of Akiyama Shields. I don't think I would mind that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty, folks. Now let's move on to that Alexander Gustafsson Vladimir Matyushenko light heavyweight bout. Of course, Gustafsson got it done via first round TKO. No surprises there. You know, I thought that Matyushenko would realize early that he couldn't get this down to the ground and would have to succumb to striking with the Swede, which is not a good look because Gustafsson's a very good striker. And yeah, of course, he eventually knocked him out when, you know, Vladimir Matyushenko threw that lazy right hook, of course, got countered by, you know, one with a lot more oomph in it by Gustafsson, and yeah, Gustafsson dropped him, finished him up with more strikes, and yeah, resulted in a TKO victory for him. So very solid win for Gustafsson over a solid gatekeeper in Vladimir Matyushenko. What's next for Gustafsson? Who knows? I think they should give him a legitimate striker, someone like an Antonio Rogério Nogueira. Give that guy a break from wrestlers. I think that would be a good fight, good test for Gustafsson. I think that would be awesome. And of course, Matyushenko, who would you give him next? I don't know. You know, there really isn't any hot rising prospect in light heavyweight besides Gustafsson or, say, Phil Davis. So, yeah, Phil Davis is already tied up. No hot prospect for him to face. Maybe a Forrest Griffin or Rich Franklin. I wouldn't mind see, you know, some of those old guys go at it. So, yeah, that's about it for this bout. But, again, very impressive win for Alexander Gustafsson. All right, folks, now let's take a look at that first fight on the main card that kicked it off. Phan, Jimmy Hettes. And I was kind of wondering why this shit was on the main card to begin with. Then I was watching this Jimmy Hettes kid in this fight. I'm like, wow, this guy's actually a stud. You know, you didn't impress me that much in the Caceres bout because, of course, he dropped that round to Caceres in the first round, but he did get him in the second with that rear naked choke. But yeah, I didn't think it was anything special. But seeing what he did to Phan here, how he's able to close the distance, out-grapple him on the ground, of course, beat him in the clinch, and just be a better fighter overall. He showed some improved hands. I was really impressed. You know, of course, he won this, in my opinion, 30-25 or 30-26, like the judges said, because it was pretty bad. Phan just didn't look good whatsoever. Very solid win for Jimmy Hettes. It was kind of laughable. I was just like, wow, this is actually happening. This is crazy. So yeah, very solid win for Jimmy Hettes. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings out in this next bout. We'll see who he gets. I think he should get, how about Diego Nunez? Someone who was on the preliminary card in this bout who I thought should have been in that place. We'll see if Jimmy Hettes really deserved that main event slot, in a fight against someone that I thought did. So yeah, I think that would be a good fight for Phan. Him versus Cole Escobedo. Loser leaves UFC. Alrighty, folks. Now let's move on to the preliminary card. Let's get this done fast. Ross Pearson over Junior Sun Sao. No surprises there. I thought Ross Pearson would look a little bit more impressive in his featherweight debut. I thought he'd get it done round 2 via TKO over Sun Sao, but he still did enough over the course of 3 to win a decision. So solid win for Ross Pearson. I know it is a heavy cut for him. So yeah, I think he gets it down better come his next featherweight bout, and I look forward to him in that division. I think he might be a force there. So yeah, I think he is Britain's best hope for a title. So yeah, more power to Ross Pearson. He is one of my favorite fighters. I do enjoy watching him fight. Next up, Danny Castillo over Anthony Njokuani. I thought Castillo would get it done via first round submission. Ended up being a split decision victory for him. Njokuani showed improved grappling defense, but just didn't do enough elsewhere to beat Castillo. Castillo was still the aggressor, and yeah, I gave it to him on points, 29-28. Solid win for Castillo. Dong Kim over Sean Pearson, 30-27 across the board. Makes sense, but no one thought that Dong Kim would be able to outstrike him or choose to, and he did. So solid win for Dong Kim. Sean Pearson's probably out of here. Jacob Volkman over Efrain Escudero. Escudero's back in the UFC come this bout. I hope they keep him. I thought he made things interesting in round 3, of course, when he almost put out Volkman with that north-south choke. Pretty cool for Efrain Escudero to do that. I hope he was able to get it done there, because Volkman just says some crazy things. I wish Escudero would have got him with that. I think that would have been nice. But of course, Volkman got that 29-28 decision victory. Said some outlandish things at his interview with Joe Rogan, so I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, whatever. Volkman, who does he get next? I don't know. I just hope he loses. Manny Gambierian versus Diego Nunez. Yeah, of course, Nunez got it done via unanimous decision. No surprises there. I thought that he would keep the distance and not allow Manny Gambierian's T-Rex arms to hit his face with one of those bombs, and Nunez was just beating him kicks with the whole time. So solid win for Diego Nunez. And yeah, guys, that about does it for my UFC 141 review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the event. Have a safe and happy new year. I will see you for my Strikeforce Rockhold versus Jardine predictions. They should be up soon. And yeah, that about does it for me. Check out my links in the description below, and I guess I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Deuces for all my supporters, bruises for all my haters. Thank you, and take care.